Hi, this is Elvira from Scrappy Mania, and today I'm going to do a technique that I saw Jamie Doherty do with her stamp. She was actually using this stamp, and she used this to decorate a taupe, a pre-made taupe. So I'm going to do the same thing, and I love this one. So I think this one will be nice for my tote. But I just want to show you all the 3 stamps. Now you can get the whole collection at photobella.com, and that's where I got mine. And look how pretty that one is. And this one. So I got some cotton here that I am going to use. And I think I want to use this one because that one fits more my fabric. I got some acrylic. So I got these at Blick's. And this is going to be for the face tones. I also got this textile medium, so I'm going to mix this, and what it does, it transforms acrylic paint into washable fabric paint. So you can wash it. After you mix this with this, it'll makes it that you can wash your taupe. I also have these from Folk Art. These are textiles. These are for fabric. And I got these colors. Okay. And then I have acrylic black paint, and I'm going to use that for the outline of my stencil. And I am just going to use a regular makeup sponge to apply it. So the first thing I want to do is, I got this pattern stick, temporary adhesive, because I really wanted this to be nicely flat on this palette that I have here, and I don't want it to move while I kind of paint it and do all my treatments. So I'm going to go ahead and spray this, and I'll be back. Okay, so I put some the adhesive, temporary adhesive spray, and then I laid it down onto my palette, and then I used a brayer to kind of just make sure that it's nicely adhered to my palette. And this is going to be nice too, having that sticky background, because I am going to put some batting on this when I do my taupe. I'm also, before I forget, I'm going to put some of this glove in the bottle, cream on my hand, so that way I don't get all the paint in my fingernails and on my cuticles and things like that. So I'm going to let this dry, and then I shall be back. So I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video, but the first thing I'm going to do is all my acrylic paints. I got 3 acrylic paints here. I am going to mix it in this on this palette. And this is a palette that I bought at Goodwill for about $2, and it's great for mixing your paints. So here I'm just taking 2 parts paint to 1 part of the textile medium. And I'm just kind of estimating the amount. It doesn't have to be very precise. And then I'm using some of my fabric paint that I already have from Folk Art to put on the rose. And then I'm using my black acrylic paint for the outline of my doll. So, yeah, so you really need to have some nice fine brushes, and I did go and purchase some nice ones that have a nice fine tip, so that way you can easily paint the face like I'm doing here with my acrylic paint. And I'm also going to color her hair, and I'm going to give some highlights and lowlights on her hair. And the way that I accomplish that is I do mix it with a little bit of water. So I put like a nice thick paint in one area, and then I take my water and I kind of spread that out so that way you can see some high and low lights onto your painting. So now I wanted to give a little bit of rosy cheeks, so you just mix a little bit of your acrylic paint with some water and just I placed it on her cheeks and some on the shoulder to kind of give her face a little more dimension. And then I have a bottle of textile paint that it's used to spraying on your stencils, and I used that for the background with a brush. And I also created a heart at the bottom of this panel. So now I'm ready to kind of go to the second for the behind the bag, the second part of my bag. So here I'm using the next stencil and I'm doing the same thing with my acrylic paint. And I'm using the same paint to go over her face. I'm going to give a little bit of dimension by giving her some rosy cheeks and some red lips. And then her flowers, I wanted to give it a little of dimension also. And notice that what I do is I start with a lighter color for the base of the flower, and then on the tips, I do go over it with a darker color. So here I'm going to give her some gold hair, some gold highlights or gold hair. And I did kind of the same thing. I kind of mix a little bit of the yellow with some red, and just to give it a little um, you know, texture and dimension so it doesn't look so flat. And I'm going to do the same thing afterwards. I'm going to take my bottle of that paint that you see in that bottle, that spray bottle. I'm just going to go in the background just to give it a little bit of more color than this stark white color. So I'm done with both of my panels. So let me go and show you real quick. And here's the first panel. As you can see, she really looks very nice. I really like how this one came out. And I'm just going to let it dry. And now I'm going to go ahead and grab the other panel that's been drying underneath my fan. And here's my next panel. And as you can see, it's going to look very nice once I do the taupe. Now what I want to do is I am going to put some extra fabric underneath and on the side, more likely. And so that way the taupe will be a little larger than these panels. But I hope you liked this video, and I gave you some ideas of what you can do with these wonderful stencils from Jamie Doherty. And if you're looking for the stencils and all the stamps for all the Prima dolls and her collection, go to photobella.com. You will find everything at a reasonable price. So I hope you like it. Thank you for watching. Bye now.